Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. We are talking about the Seattle Seahawks in today's video because they not only won the NFC West, but they won the NFC in general. And you're 14-3 Seattle Seahawks thanks to their 13-3 road victory week 18 against San Fran just now. You have a home playoff game all the way up until the Super Bowl, and you also have a first round bye. And it is crazy. Especially considering Seattle lost the first game of this season. But unbelievable when this team can run the football like this. They genuinely might be by far the best team in the National Football League. I mean, maybe I'm just a little high off emotions from this win here. Folks, it's late, but we got a lot to talk about. It's not late for you if you live on the West Coast. But anyways, dominated the trenches offensively and defensively. Zach Charbonnet gets it going right out of the gate with this 27-yard touchdown. And you're going to see him, first off, he's going to run to the left. But this block by it looks like A.J. Barner. The whole offensive line shifting to the right. And pretty much, you just got to block this edge. Barner does an absolute phenomenal job. Charbonnet just got one guy to beat, makes him miss, and it is a touchdown right away for this team. Folks, we got a lot to talk about. This was a defensive absolute masterclass and a very efficient offensive performance. The only one negative thing is just red zone offense in this game, but we got a lot to talk about, so let's get into it. This is the highlight from the end of the first quarter, 7-0 Seattle, and this is really what it looked like defensively this entire football game. So first off, the Seahawks had the football for 38 minutes compared to the 22. They had 23 first downs compared to the 9 for San Francisco. They had 361 yards of offense, and they also had, only gave up 173. There we go. Finally, 180 rushing yards compared to 53. I'm trying to pull up this statistic. Here we go. Brock Purdy, a whopping 19 of 27 for 127 yards, no touchdowns, and an interception. On this particular play, you're actually going to see Derek Hall get the sack. You got a dual blitz. Drake Thomas had a phenomenal football game. It's going to get Brock Purdy to walk up this pocket, and Derek Hall comes in collapsing. Christian McCaffrey even only had 8 attempts for 23 yards. This game was a handful of plays differently from being like 31-3. One thing that's super impressive with this entire defense, and it's why I think by now they're clearly the best defense in the NFL. There was who is the team earlier in the season? Tampa Bay. So Baker Mayfield and Tampa Bay early in the season. And then the Rams. Those are really the only two teams that have had success against the Seattle Seahawks defense. This is just another random play in the second quarter. Seattle's up 10-0 at this point in time. And Nick Worry gets this looks like a 5-yard, 6-yard loss here. And they had an answer for everything. And right here he's watching George Kittle, who's going to give a little chip. Try and bust something out into the flat. And Worry sniffs this out the entire way. 73 yards of total offense. So I know they just had a final sack to end this. I guess it's saying only 3 sacks in this football game, but they were all over it. Numerous plays going for negative yards for San Francisco. And folks, before we get any further into tonight's video, if you wouldn't mind hitting that like button, hit that sub button. Seahawks fans, I could not be happier for you guys. If we could try and get 500 likes on tonight's video, it would mean the world to me. You have a home playoff game. You have a home playoff game. And dude, this defense, if this team runs the football like this, they will make it to the Super Bowl. We have another defensive clip here, and Seattle's bringing only 5 guys, burgers and fries here. Jerron Reed, my former Green Bay Packer, I think he's 33 now, is going to end up getting it. He's on the inside here. And so I actually don't have a clip on Sam Darnold. And I want to give some comments on Sam Darnold's game because the next couple are just going to be run plays because this was a defensive A-plus performance. You genuinely, and we're going to get to the defensive play of the game here in a couple of clips. Sam Darnold went 20 of 26, 198 yards. There was one fumble. He fumbled the football one time. Maybe I should have shown it. I think Jalen Sundell, the center, kind of got in his way, steps on him a little bit. Other than that, I don't think there was a single turnover-worthy throw. He kept everything clean. It was a really good gameplay from Clint Kubiak. When you run the ball 39 times for 180 yards and a touchdown, it really opens up the playbook, really opens up play action, which is Sam Darnold and the Seattle Seahawks bread and butter in the passing game. You saw JSN have 6 big catches for 84 yards. Ken Walker had 4 catches, 36. He really is probably the player of the game. The defense as a unit, and then offensively, actually, Kent or Charbonnet had the touchdown. So, I mean, both running backs, players of the game. All right, here we go. This is what I've been waiting for. This is probably the offense play of the game. And it's funny because it's not funny. Seattle ends up scoring a field goal on this. So there's 3 minutes left in the third quarter, but it's 3rd down and 12. And you can tell this clip starts a little bit late. It's 3rd down and 12. And it's 10-3 here. And San Francisco had took off 5 or so minutes on their first possession of the third quarter. But the crowd was starting to get back into it. The fumble was 2 plays prior to this. And Ken Walker right here, he's got all these lead blockers. Look at all of these lead blockers. Everybody does a phenomenal job. Huge block right here by 61. I think that's Sundell. And Ken rips this for 20 yards on 3rd and 17 and gives them a first down. And so they end up taking, 4, 5, 6, whatever minutes it is off the clock. Darnold's throwing first downs. They're running for 8, 9 yards, getting a first down on a 3, 4 yard carry. They're just controlling the time of possession, beating down the clock, being an efficient run offense, and they kick a field goal, and it ends up being, gets it to a two-score possession, 2-possession game, 10-3 to 13-3. And, like I said, the only really downside was, maybe 6 of 13 on 3rd down, 0 of 4 on 4th down. Where is it? Trying to pull it up. Jeez. 0 of 3 in red zone efficiency, 0 for 1 in goal-to-goal efficiency. And just another quick comment on Sam Darnold's night. He did miss a touchdown or 2 on the first possession. And yeah, sometimes you're going to miss guys. But Seattle really should have scored a touchdown on their first possession, just being real, but they unfortunately didn't score any points, but it didn't end up being an issue. All right, finally, the play of the game. It's going to come from Drake Thomas here. Just another example of how deep this football team is. They have, it's just the most complete defense in the National Football League. They got guys everywhere. Reek Woolen's second half of the season was also unbelievable. And man, Warriors rookie season, these guys did such a phenomenal job, and Drake Thomas ends up just sealing the deal. And you're actually going to see Boye Mafe, who's going to get his hands on this football. But this is right after that last possession where I said Seattle ends up getting a first down or a field goal, gets it to a 2-possession game, 13-3, and San Francisco actually drives the football down the field. They're probably one and only good possession of this game, few and far between at least, 2, 3 maybe good drives for San Francisco tonight. There's 10 minutes left. It's 2nd and goal. Momentum, this game's in San Francisco. Momentum's completely changed it. And they're, what is this, the 6-yard line? They're 6 yards away from making it a 3-point game, field goal at least. It's going to be a 1-possession game unless Seattle gets an answer. And boy, right here, number 53, you see it actually perfect timing, like I'm Shedeur Sanders, gets a little bit of a tip on here, changes it up a little bit, and it makes McCaffrey not be able to put a clean 2 hands on this football. He bobbles it right into Drake Thomas. He's going to cradle this like a baby all the way to the floor. Seattle football, they orchestrate a beautiful drive. They take like 7 minutes off the clock. Jason Myers misses his 2nd field goal of the night, which is super. If Jason Myers made his 2 field goals, or I think he kicked 3, maybe even 4, whatever it was, he missed 2, would have been a 19-3 game. Once again, the red zone, goal-to-goal efficiency, this game, I'm not even kidding, could have easily been like 31, 34-3. But this defense was all over it, and I don't know what the playoff picture is looking like, so I'm not sure who your first-round matchup would be or is going to be. We'll figure that out tomorrow, but 14-3, I think this was your 7th straight win, and like I said, I could not be happier for you guys. We're definitely going to get a Seahawks video out probably Monday once it's all said and done. So thank you for watching this whole season. I hope you had a good new year, and this 2026 season, it's starting off really good for Seattle. So I'm happy for you guys. Let me know your thoughts from this game down below, and we'll see you later. Peace.